Hello and welcome to On the Kerbs. I'm your host, Timo Albers Daily. Joining me this time around is Formula Woman competitor Abbie Carruthers. We caught up recently to chat about how she got into motorsport to begin with, what made her want to get back into motorsport with Formula Woman, which motorsport series she'd love to race in, and much more. I hope you enjoy our conversation. Hi Abbie, thank you for being here today. First of all, how are you?
I am fabulous, thank you. I'm still on a high from my track day on Wednesday. Yeah, I'm good. Yourself?
I'm not too bad, thank you. How'd the track day go?
It was, not to be cliche, but it was insane. It was when I got to the track, it was wet, so I was really panicking, thinking,
Throwing you in the deep end already.
Yeah, exactly. This is my first time I've ever driven a car on a track. I mean, I drove my own BMW to the track, and then I was jumping in another BMW, but driving at completely different speeds. It really was great. And obviously I got to meet for the first time some of the other women, which was, it was comforting and so welcoming. And just to have a bit of, we've had a full year of speaking to not a lot of people, to actually have a conversation with someone different who's got the same outlook on life as you. I really enjoyed it, and the coaches were brilliant. I've left with more knowledge, more feedback, constructive feedback, and more need for speed than I ever could have imagined. Yeah, exactly. I literally left. It hadn't even been 12 hours, and I was on the email straight away to Sam, who sorts the track days out, and said, let me know if there's any more, get me on the next one. Even if it's tomorrow, I'll be there.
Addicted,
so
really.
It really is. You never get rid of that bug, ever.
I say, sounds like you had an amazing time, and I think from talking to a few other women competing in this, the community aspect is a big part of it as well. You're all kind of, not that you've forgotten to compete with each other, it's just you're not there yet, and the fact that you're all there and you're helping each other along is just brilliant to see as well.
Yeah, for sure. Even in Formula One, you see that off track, all the drivers are pretty friendly with each other, despite when Max and Lewis take each other out. They're all pretty friendly off track. When you're on track, the red mist comes down and you are an individual racing for yourself, every man for themselves, or every woman for herself. But yeah, to have that community is important. It really is.
It's great to see. So then, for those people who are watching and listening that don't know you, don't recognise you, tell us a bit about yourself.
So I'm Abbie. A lot of people will call me Abs, probably a lot of other names, which call me what you want. I'll go with it. I am 26 and I'm from the Lake District. I'm from West Cumbria in a little town called Workington, actually, but no one knows where that is, so I say the Lake District. And I've been driving vehicles from as young as I can remember. I think for my third birthday, my dad actually bought me a quad bike because we live on a farm. So literally he's embedded this need for motorsport within me from a very young age. I'm probably the son he's never had. And I raced karts when I was younger, from about 10 to maybe 17, I'm going to say. So it's been quite a while since I've raced karts. And I went off to uni in Newcastle to study interior design. And while I was there, I actually joined the kart team there. And I still remember now when I was, I still remember now, it was the karting society, and I was the only girl, and it was just a bunch of lads, and we had to go along to one of the indoor kart tracks, and you had to, I guess it was like trials to see if you could make the team. And I can remember just being so excited to just do what I love. And one of the guys turned around to me and said, don't worry if you don't make the team. We do lots of fun events. It's okay.
They didn't know what they were getting into with you, did they?
Exactly. I was like, that was patronising. So I thought, okay, no problem. After the event, I came off and I took my helmet off and I went up and went, did I make the team then? And they were like, yeah, you made the team. I thought so. So that was great. when I came back home, I literally did not know what I wanted to do after I had my degree. And so my parents have a construction company, and he said, well, you're not sitting around on your bum, get yourself up to the yard, and you're going to be driving the diggers, you're going to be driving all the machines. And then he even put me through my HGV license. On the Monday, he said, right, get up to the training site, you've got your test the Monday after. I had a week to learn how to drive and pass my test in a HGV.
I'm noticing a pattern with you being thrown in the deep end quite consistently here, and just
exactly. And I mean, I absolutely loved it. If it's got 4 wheels or more, I'll drive it with a smile on my face. So I absolutely loved it. But even then, I'd pull up in this great big lorry to do some deliveries or whatever, and I'd jump out, and whoever I'm delivering to would take them by surprise, and it was, oh, you're a woman. It's like, yeah,
well noticed.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, how many times, how long is this going to go on for that it's a shock that a woman is doing a man's or a male's dominated job. So yeah, and then unfortunately for my parents, I founded what is now my baby, H28, which is a creative laser studio. Literally, I make personalized gifts, wedding stationery, and they go all over the world. I've even I can remember, I think it was the beginning of this year, I made a welcome sign for a child's birthday party, which I shipped to California within 3 days. They needed it, and it was actually for the party planner that Kim Kardashian uses. And when I found out, I was going absolutely crazy and telling all my friends.
You might have got a bit under pressure to get it there so soon anyway, never mind if you'd known who it was for.
Can you imagine? So then I was just walking around like, if anyone needs Kim's number, let me know. I can.
It's good advertising, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So that's me.
Well, to be fair, I was intrigued as to, because you say you were doing the karting and then you went off and studied interior design. I was intrigued as to what the pull from that was, but then with what you're doing now with work, it kind of, there's a bit of correlation there, really. So I can see you've got two tracks there. So then what was it that then, I mean, you're saying you were quad biking from the age of 3 essentially, but was it just trying that that attracted you to motorsport, or was there a moment that you can remember that was just like, oh no, I'm really loving this?
So I think it was my 10th birthday party. We went along to the local indoor karting. So all my other friends are taking us to bounty castles, face paints, dressed up as fairies. Not me, right? All my friends.
Get in the car, to be fair.
Yeah, get onto the karting track. And we were whizzing around, and one of the guys who works there actually said to my mum, oh, I'm pretty sure she said, who's the young guy in cart number 10? And my mum said, that's actually my daughter. And I was like, oh wow, well, you need to get her straight up to Rowra, which is our local outdoor circuit. They do like a racing for buttons there, and it's kind of like an arrive and drive sort of thing. Get her up there. And people have been saying it to my dad for quite a few years, you should take Abbie up to Rowra, she'll love it. And in my dad's head he's thinking, if I take her up there, that's it, there's no going back. So we eventually did take me up, and he was right, there was no going back. And as we all know, motorsport is not the cheapest. And he said, he was like, he says it's his worst decision, but he loved it because he was also my mechanic. So it was his hobby as well as mine.
It's the kind of bad decision you're happy to make, though.
Yeah, exactly, it is. And my sister and my mum, they loved it, being in the paddock and around chatting to all the other people. And you do feel like you're in this separate world. Outside I go back to school and I've got my friends and people from home. I go into, as soon as I go through the gates of the circuit, oh, these are now my friend, a different set of friends where we have all the same.
It's like you're leading a double life.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And I miss that so much. I really do. Ever since as soon as I went to uni, I really did miss it.
So then obviously at uni you then completely showed those blokes who's boss there in the karting. And then obviously things have been a little bit up and down since then. What made you want to enter the Formula One competition? Was it just the fact that there was that fresh opportunity?
One of my customers actually sent me the link to potentially the website, or maybe it was just their Instagram page, and said, this looks right up your street. So I had a little look, and I literally scrolled up and down, and in my own head I thought, this looks like the W series. Well, I'm not good enough to get into the W series,
but you're not quite. You don't think you're quite
exactly. I haven't been in a kart for 10 years. I'm not going to jump into the W series and compete against all of them. So I replied, I was like, oh yeah, that looks really good. Thank you for thinking of me.
Yeah.
Then fast forward a few months, and we're at the end of August, and it pops up on, I think it was like a sponsored ad or something, and I clicked on it. I thought, let me have a little read. And I had to reread about 5 times, and I was thinking, they are going to give a winner of this, who's got little to no experience, a seat in the GT Cup next year, fully sponsored.
It does seem a little too good to be true if you're not aware of it.
I think everyone has said the same. It sounded too good to be true. I rang my mum straight away, and I said, look, I'm just about to sign up to this. Does it sound? Do you know what I mean?
Like, and check I'm not hallucinating.
Yeah, can you do the small T's and C's? And I thought, you know what, I'm doing it. I only had about less than a month before it kind of closed because I was the end of August. I mean, a lot of the other girls signed pretty early. So I did that. I mean, racing never leaves your blood. So if there was an opportunity there for me to even just jump in a car for one day.
You're having fun already, so it's already a win.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not something where I'm thinking, is this something I would be interested? No, I am interested in this. I'm doing this. I'm signing up. So that was that.
So then what have you been doing, obviously, since then to prepare for the competition?
So the 5 aspects of the assessments, from what I've kind of heard or read, being told, the driving part, I believe I have a natural ability, but I've been jumping on a few. I say a few. I've had one sim session. Jumped on a sim session.
Might be a few by the time this comes out. It's fine.
Jumped on a sim session. My boyfriend, he is a GT driver as well, so he's been verbally talking me through a few things, telling me the idea of, he was trying to let me know that racing karts and racing cars, they are very different, and your braking and your accelerating is different. So he's been informing me things about that. I obviously went and jumped in the track day to get a bit of driving, which was fab. Then we have the fitness side to it. I'm a regular gym goer anyway, and I'm quite fit and healthy, so that was absolutely fine. But racing fitness and just gym fitness are completely different.
You've got to adapt a few things there, I think.
Yeah, you do. You really do. And cardio is not my forte. I can't run for hell. I don't enjoy it. I avoid the cardio machines in the gym like the plague. But I know if you are doing endurance racing or anything like that, you need your cardio fitness to be on
is that starting to change a bit now? Then you're looking at the machines thinking, fine, I'll come over.
Really though, so I live in the Lake District. For me to go walk on a treadmill when I could go and walk up a fell, I'm choosing
better views from up there than on a treadmill, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm choosing the fell. And when you're walking up there, I'm out of breath. I cannot breathe. It is the best form of fitness. And when you get to the top, it's euphoric. So in the mornings, I've been getting up at about 6:45, meeting my friend, walking up a fell, just a quick one, a quick kind of heart racing one.
Okay, not too heartbreaking.
Yeah. Jumping into the gym to do more my weight stuff that I enjoy. Then obviously I have to go to work and do all that. I come in from work and I start working on my Formula Woman kind of social media kind of it, getting in touch, interacting with a lot of other companies and things like that. I mean, I spoke to Eve, which is one of our fitness trainers at my track day, and I said to her, one of the things I really struggle with is wrist strength.
Mm-hmm.
You don't ever think about when you're not racing.
It's not the obvious thing that comes up in the gym either, I'd imagine. So
no, where's the wrist strengthening machine?
Exactly.
So she's given me loads of hints and tips. And then Claire, who's the Naked Warrior, she did a post the other day about setting smart goals, which inspired me. And I thought, you know what? I'm setting myself a goal for my cardio. So by the end of this month, the 1st of November, which is my assessment day, I am hoping to be able to do 50 burpees unbroken, which will probably kill me.
Probably be more satisfying afterwards than during, when you know you've done that. They're not
I'm thinking I should probably do that before a workout. So they're kind of the things I've been doing. My media, I've never spoken on camera before. It's something that I'm a confident person in real life.
So it's going well so far.
Oh well, thank you. But on camera, I just can't. So I've just jumped out of my comfort zone, and I've been trying to speak a bit more on my Instagram story to build myself up. I've been speaking to the owner of the gym that I go to. He speaks on camera a lot, and I've been asking him for some help, and he's been so supportive of that. So he's going to help me through that. And basically just pulling all of these help that I've got on hand, or different kinds of tools that I have, pulling them all together and putting them all to my use. I've said to everyone, I'm not taking my foot off the pedal until I get to that top step, pun intended.
Well, it sounds like a great approach, and like you were saying before, you've got these smart goals, so you're not trying to just go straight to the top and go to the highest mountain immediately. You know that there's progress and steps towards it, and that it's going to be more satisfying ultimately when you do it that way.
It is. All of us, we are literally putting our all into it, and you can tell everyone's taking their own journey. A lot of people are doing different things because we all have different strengths and weaknesses, and we're all just pulling on them to make sure we are the best that we can be.
Again, everyone's pushing themselves over their comfort zones a bit. I mean, a lot of them, again, they wouldn't have thought they'd have ever done anything like this. So even if they don't get to the final round or whatever, they don't mind as much normally as you would maybe otherwise, because it's, again, you've already achieved so much getting to these points in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't make it to the final, I really hope I do, or even make it in the top, to be one of the top 6 winners, I can leave this and be like, do you know what? I achieved quite a lot of things. I've jumped out of my comfort zone from this, and this. I've met this, and this person. I can't complain. Everyone's going to take something out of this experience.
That's what's great about it, I think, as well. It's like you can't really lose.
No, you can't. You really can't. And the education you get from it is priceless, to be fair.
So then we'll switch things up a little bit away from Formula One slightly. If you could race in one motorsport series, which would you choose and why?
Oh, it would have to be the GT Cup next year and racing a McLaren GT4. No, I think any GT championship, I think. I can't see myself in single seaters as much. Now that I've jumped in a car, I absolutely love that. I don't know whether it's just the size on it, or maybe I'm not sure. I just have fallen massive. There's something about it. Yeah, I think, Formula One is insane, and I love the backing of all that and things. But I'm not gonna be cliche and say, oh, Formula One's the one. No, GT, I think even British GT is a pretty good championship.
It's fairly close racing consistently, and there's always a lot of cars involved, so there's plenty of opportunities there to have a lot of fun on track.
I quite like the endurance races as well. I remember doing a 24-hour kart race, which was the best. It was such fun. Then I get an endurance GT championship would be right up my street, to be fair.
Anyone listening who knows about that, you know who to get in touch with now.
Sign me up.
So then, you don't have to have raced on it, but do you have a favourite racing track?
Rowra, the kart track, which is 10 minutes away from me, that is one of my favourites. And maybe because that's where everything started out. Maybe it's because I was 5 times champion there. I'm not sure. But if you do speak to a lot of grassroots racing drivers who have been through karting, I believe a lot of them will say Rowra. It's got a mixture of all the corners. You've got the chicanes, you've got the tight hairpins, you've got fast right-handers, you've got a bit of everything there. It's more of a
test track.
Yeah, it is. It tests your talent and your ability rather than just who's got the faster engine. The only issue is for everyone apart from me, it's an absolute trek to get here because it's in the middle of nowhere. But for me, it's 10 minutes jumping out of bed. I'm there.
And so from the sound of it, it's worth it though, because 5 times champion, it can't be all bad.
That's maybe because no one could be bothered to come up here.
We can edit that bit out, it's fine. So then, what's an interesting fact about you that people should know?
This makes me laugh because I asked my friends not that long ago about this when I was writing a little blog about myself. And my interesting fact, which I actually mentioned earlier in the conversation, would be the Kim Kardashian, working with Kim Kardashian's party planner. When I asked my friends, I couldn't stop laughing. One of them mentioned that I sing out loud in public constantly, but I sing the wrong lyrics. I don't know the lyrics to anything and I make them up in my own head. And if they fit, they go.
An interesting
Another one, yeah, it'll do. Another one mentioned that I actually spelt the word design wrong on my personal statement to get on a degree for design. Still managed to get in, but they're never letting me live that one down. And then my friend, I laughed my head off. He said, we were on the flight to Vegas and I swapped my egg sandwich with a cheese savoury sandwich with the man sat next to me who I've never met in my life. And he said, I can't believe you're the only person who can start a conversation with someone you've never met in your life. And by the end of the flight to Vegas, you're swapping sandwiches. He's like, only you can away with that.
I think that's a good skill though, no?
Yeah, people
can get on with anybody.
Yeah, and it's a win-win. I don't like egg sandwiches.
Well, that too. You had ulterior motives there, but then we're getting to the properly seriously silly questions now. If you were a food, what food would you be?
Despite probably the fact these are not an egg sandwich. Despite the fact these are my favourite, it's my favourite food, I would be a brownie. They've got a hard and cool exterior. Inside, they are gooey and squishy and soft. And that is me, hands up.
I like that. You've given that a bit of thought, I think, by the look of it. So I like that.
Yeah.
So finally, if you could put wings on any species of animal that doesn't already have them, what would you do that to? Easy.
Pig. Because anyone who's ever said pigs will fly will eat their words.
I can't say fairer than that. That's you've checkmated that question perfectly there.
Pigs will fly.
Pigs will fly. There's a name for the episode. Got it. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you today. I want to thank you again for coming onto the show, and I want to wish you the best of luck with your assessment day in November and the rest of the Formula Woman competition.
Thank you so much, and I will keep following your journey and reading all the other women's interviews and everything else. So thank you for having me on and giving me this platform.
My pleasure. It was an absolute pleasure to chat with Abbie. I really enjoyed our chat, and I want to thank her again for coming onto the show and wish her the best of luck for the Formula Woman competition. Join me again soon when I'll be chatting to another famous face from the world of motorsport. In the meantime, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and check out the other videos on the On the Kerbs YouTube channel. Away from YouTube, you can also find me over on DriveTribe, and feel free to follow me on Instagram at t.albers.daily.drivetribe. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next week for the next episode.